That is generally correct.
All right. You already have position limits for legacy contracts, correct?
That is correct.
And is cotton number 2 one of those?
Yes, sir.
And yet cotton hit 16 record-setting prices in the last 12 months, did it not?
If that's the number you have, sir, I trust the number.
Did the position limits in place prevent wheat, corn, soybean volatility in 2007, 2008?
We're not a price-setting agency. I think that position limits are to help ensure the integrity of markets, that no one party has an outsized or concentrated position in the markets.
I know, but the reason I asked the question is the panel before you was based on these new methods of trading outside of true commodity users and people who are hedging. The implication is that the price is on the way up regardless of supply-demand, essentially, unless extreme supply-demand differences. And yet, in wheat, corn, and soybean, from 2000 to 2008, we saw tremendous price increases, yet we had position limits on it. We saw a tremendous increase in volatility. So, and I agree with you, you're not in the position to control price, you're in the position to create transparent and stable markets.
We agree on that.
So the point I'm making is we have position limits on those commodities, yet we saw tremendous swings, tremendous increased speculation, and tremendous increased volatility. So my point being is we're not necessarily going to change pricing, which was our testimony of the first panel, that the bias is for an increased price, that there's no real market forces in the long term to drive price the other way, on the other side of the trading, with position limits. The whole goal for position limits is to make sure not anybody's manipulating the market. Correct?
I think that it's in my own words, we're not a price-setting agency. It's to ensure that the price discovery function has integrity, and that's integrity against manipulation. But it's also, as the agency has for decades, that there's not concentrated parties that can distort on the way down or distort on the way up. Just that there's a diversity of actors.
Yeah.
There's more actors on a stage. There's more competition in the market. Less likely than one party distorts the market.
But you'd agree that the prices on corn, soybean, and wheat had good price integrity during this period of increased volatility, increased speculation. I mean, corn's still at $6.40 a bushel. 3 years ago it was at $3. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that pricing mechanism, is there? It worked.
Well, in some of these, there are issues about the pricing mechanism with regard to convergence, which was an earlier hearing, and the wheat markets, and
right.
They're still very much focused.
You mean in terms of the closeout month?
The closeout month, and they're very serious issues still in a couple of contracts that we watch on a very regular basis. We also look in closed-door sessions at surveillance and look at issues of enforcement matters. So I don't want to ever say that there aren't things that we look at on a very regular and intensive way. But I think I share your view that position limits are about, I believe our whole regime, position limits, anti-manipulation, transparency, and the other rules we have, is to ensure for the integrity of markets and the price discovery. It's not about whether prices should be higher or lower. Right. It's to allow the markets to come together and these hedgers and speculators to meet in this market.
Yeah. I want to thank you for your testimony, also for your service. I'll have some additional questions for the record, if you wouldn't mind responding to those.
I'd look forward to it and meeting with you at any time.
And I would just